nothing else to really report, to be honest. I woke up at 2 o'clock, so I needed to pee. Got back into my pit, trying to nod off, and then at 2:30 my phone buzzed. And Keith had caught a 26 pounder in peg 6, biggest of the trip, mega one as well. So that was good. And then I just really struggled to get back off. So I reckon I've been up since kind of 2 o'clock on and off. It's just gone 6:30 now. They were really active last night, really active.
As you can see, another issue with the microphone, which is really annoying, but I don't have a clue what I was saying. So we're just going to leave it there. We're going to forget this ever happened, and we're going to move on to the next bit. But yeah, like I say, Keith had a fish in the night. They were really active in the night in between Keith and Ethan. And yeah, that's about it really. So we'll just continue, I guess.
Wow, it is just coming up to 9 o'clock now. All the mist and everything's been burnt off now. The sun's up probably for the last half an hour. The sun's been blasting into the bay now, so I'm hoping that they'll turn up. I've not seen anything turn up yet, but I have been eating breakfast and stuff. I've just had some sausage and egg rolls, which is perfect. That'll tie me over now until the barbecue. But yeah, still really quiet. Haven't really seen anything. It's flat calm. The sun's come out. Can feel the heat now. I'm gonna have to take this hoodie off in a minute. It's it's really warm. So I'm hoping, this being the shallowest part and a bay that's not really got a lot of pressure in as such, I'm hoping they'll get in here. So, and if they do, fingers crossed, I can nab a couple. But yeah, I haven't moved anything. I haven't moved the middle rod tighter as of yet. I'm just going to see what happens, because there's every chance on the way in I could nick a bite on that one. So I don't want to go moving it and messing about in a minute. So we're just going to leave it, and I'll only move it if I see a sign that I need to. And if I do, I can cast over to the bank and drop it in my hand if I'm moving it tighter anyway. So it's not going to be a lot of disturbance or whatever. So yeah, that's where we're at. Just chilling now. I've had my food, cleaned all my plates and everything. I am just going to chill and have a cup of tea. And yeah, just enjoy the peace and quiet, and hopefully any minute one of them robs rat round. Well, it is 11 o'clock. Pretty quiet, to be honest. Not a lot happening at all. Don't think anyone's had anything. I've seen a couple more down. Same old, in between Ethan and Keith. I have seen one in the bay. Don't know whether I said that in the last video, but and just as I'm saying that, one's just shown, probably about a rod length from my right rod. That's moved some water, so there's obviously some fish down here now. I was just about to say I've only seen the one show. It's looking pretty dead down here, but that one is right down the bottom of the bay, and I've got one tucked in down there, and that's probably about a rod length off. So that's really, really positive. Oh, buzzing. Yeah, hopefully that right rod goes any minute then, because that wasn't a million miles away. Yeah, well, that's changed the the mood of this conversation, but yeah, it's kind of feeling a bit despondent really. Been drinking tea like it's going out of fashion. You know, just keeping my eye on the bay, keeping my eye out towards the island and the far margin, and just not been seeing anything. I say it's been really quiet. The wind, although it's pushing out of my bay, feels like it's got a chill to it today. Definitely not as warm as yesterday, but it's still only 11 o'clock. But it might well be because I've had 2 nights now where I haven't had a lot of sleep, so it might be tiredness kicking in, or it might just be me being a right pussy, basically, or you know, old age is creeping up with me. I don't know. Whatever, it does feel a bit colder today. Yeah, that breeze. It's got a little bit of a chill to it. I don't know what the boys on the end of the wing would be saying, but yeah, don't know. But that's a good sign. Perfect timing. So that wasn't a million miles away from my right rod. Probably a rod length, I would imagine. At max, a rod length and a half. So that is positive, really positive. If there's one in there, I'm sure he's not alone. I seen one a couple of hours ago. So maybe there's the odd fish creeping in there. Problem is, it is really shallow water, and like most people that stalk a lot will tell you, like, you know, if you've got like 1 or 2 fish in there, you're going to struggle in them in shallower water. In deeper water, you might get away with it, but even then, you still want that competitive feeding situation. Just makes it more likely that, you know, of getting a bite. So hopefully, not that they're going to be gouging, but hopefully, you know, get some numbers in there. And I'm sure if they get in there in numbers, I'll have some. Say some. 1 will do. Let's start with 1 today. So yeah, fingers crossed. But I'm in a better mood than I was when I started talking to you. Yeah, mad, absolutely dead. Turn the camera on, start talking, and then boom. But sweet, I might start turning, if it goes dead again, I'll turn the camera on. We are live. Right.
Okay.
Oh, let me get the bucket a minute. It's rolling, but don't worry.
I'm sure you're going to edit it.
Yeah, I'll cut it anyway. I'll just sit here so you can just look at...
Yeah, no
You
worries.
look at me, you don't have to look at that. So it's
No,
like
that's
talking
fine,
to me,
that's better, yeah.
it makes it better. Right, Keith.
Okay.
One last night, mate.
Yes.
Fair play. £26, wasn't it?
It was £26.
Right, so basically we just want to go through how you've caught it, the rig you used, tactics, hook baits, stuff like that. So if you just want to start with the rig, the hook bait, you know, and then go into kind of where you've put your rods, why you've done it, and then just how you've baited up, really, the approach and what bait you've used.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so it was a multi-rig, which I got to be quite honest with you, it's my first time ever using a multi-rig.
Really?
I've never used one before.
Swear by them.
My first ever time. And I tied it myself. I'm quite proud of myself. Yeah. Size 6 long shank beat.
Yeah.
With a 14mm allergy wafter, which is my go-to. I love allergy wafter.
Yeah.
Smell lovely, real nice.
What was it? How was it hooked with a multi?
Pardon?
How was it hooked
It was
with a
nailed.
multi?
Absolutely nailed. Bottom lip, nailed.
Mate.
It was amazing. Yeah, so at the margins, I literally walked it down. I didn't cast.
Yeah.
I walked it right down the margin, passing the rod around the tree.
Yeah.
As I was coming back from the drop.
Yeah. Same as what I did.
I only put 20 baits out, but the baits had been soaked in allergy liquid.
Yeah.
And hot water.
Yeah.
For a good 6 to 8 hours first.
Yeah, fair play.
So they'd gone kind of spongy. You had to be quite delicate with them because.
Yeah. Was that allergy or kraken?
Allergy.
Yeah, they go really soft.
Yeah, you had to be quite delicate because if you touched them too much, they just crumbled.
Yeah.
But I just put them out gently. I didn't put many out. And yeah,
fair play.
It was a way. I was well impressed with the first time tying a rig as well, so I was well happy with that. It worked all right.
Yeah, fair play, mate. Congrats with the capture.
Thanks very much.
Right, so I thought I'd walk through my tactics just very quickly. I've got 2 rods to my island and 1 rod to my right. At the minute it's in the margins. Both island rods, I bushwhack it out to some decent spots that look tasty. One's on a multi-rig with a 14mm Kraken hard hooker, just a top cut off it, and then a little slither of the crab pop up on top. Fantastic rig and presentation that I use pretty much everywhere I go on at least one of my rods. On my middle rod, the rod that did the bite last night, is a squid and octopus pop-up on a Ronnie rig, and that's out to the point of the island where we saw a lot of action when we were doing a walk around yesterday. And then my right hand rod, I have changed that from a Kraken hard hooker Tutti Frutti snowman presentation. I've actually changed that to a Tutti Frutti pop-up on the multi-rig, just to see if my theory that they're really liking the bright pop-ups at the minute might tempt a bite.
Sweet, right, we're rolling. Right. So you can just look at me, you don't have to look at the thing.
Come on then.
Right then, Dad. Just going to take a few minutes just to see what rigs you're using, hook baits, where your rods are placed and why you've put them there, and then just your baiting application basically. Just run through it.
Okay.
So fire away. Rigs and hook baits we can start with.
Rigs and hook baits were multi-rigs with either 14mm allergy or creamy toffee pop-ups.
So you've gone with pop-ups rather than snowmen?
Yeah, I've done no snowmen
Just
this time.
pop-ups?
Yeah.
Okay. And then just kind of tell us where you've put your rods, why you've put them there, and then the baiting strategies you've used for both.
Well, the swim I'm in where I've got 2 rods poking out at the front of the swim and 1 poking out to the right-hand side of it. Now, the right-hand side rod is on 3/4 of the way across. It's on like a little clear area just off the shelf. I've got like a little bay. The middle rod is straight out in front of me to an island with a tree overhanging. I've seen a fish roll there, so I just thought, right, we'll have a look what's there. That's pretty clear. Put that one on. And my left-hand rod is, I've got another little bay going into the left-hand side of me, which my left-hand rod is along that bank where there's a swim there and there's a pipe coming into the water, coming into the lake, which bring in fresh water in. So I'm about a rod length off that.
Sweet. And what kind of baiting application have you done?
On the 2 margin rods, which is the left and the right rods, I've put in some, probably about half a kilo of crumb on each, or bits, allergy bits.
Yeah.
A few chops and a few holes.
All allergy, is it?
Yeah, all allergy, yeah. Same on the left-hand rod. The island rod, I've put in probably 60 or 70 boilies, 14mm allergies over the top.
Perfect. Right. Cheers, Dad. Sweet.
Is that it?
Hopefully you get one.
Oh, it'd be lovely, wouldn't it, eh?
Hi guys, we're at Hacche Moor Fisheries in Devon. I've just come back from the barbecue. We've had a few ciders and beers and good time over there. But I thought I'd take the opportunity to come back and talk you through what I'm using and what tactics I've gone with on this session. I've got a rod out to my left where I've seen fish yesterday in 3 foot of water. I've chosen to use the Kraken washed out pink pop-ups, these ones here. In the 3 foot, I feel sort of like, with the clarity the way it is, it's fairly okay. I don't want anything too blatant, and with the Kraken in a washed out pink, I think that's going to be something that's going to be seen, but it's not too blatantly obvious at the same time. That's fished on a German turbo rig, similar to sort of a spinner, sort of Ronnie rig setup, coated braid all the way through. For me, I've had stacks fish on that particular rig, and I've had stacks fish on the Kraken as well. The middle rod, I'm fishing over to the other side in roughly 6 or 7 foot of water off the bottom of a ledge, and on that one I'm using something a little bit brighter, and that is the squid and octopus from Bosh, obviously. Something that's very bright, and because I've got that little bit of depth and the clarity's okay, but just that deep water, I want something that's going to stand out. So I'm using both this one and the previous as toppers with the allergy hard hookers, and they're presented in a bottom bait sort of presentation, really, to be honest. Slightly wafting, it does move, it's not off the deck, but you know, I'm fishing small bits and pieces down there, so I want something that's not going to be sort of floating up, something that's going to be easy to take, basically. And on the right rod, I am fishing again in shallow water, but I've gone sort of the other way. I'm using a spinner rig, and I'm actually using the allergy white pop-ups. Quite a big bait as well, so these are 18mm, quite big. So it's always trial and error, but something very blatant, in their face. This time just over a spread of boilie though, on that spinner rig. I want the boilies sort of spread around about a sort of 15-20 yard area. I've gone further down the margin as well. And the thing is, with using the spinner and with that baiting strategy, you like to think the fish are picking up the bait sort of, you know, 2 or 3 foot apart. And then, you know, lo and behold, when they finally get to yours, they sort of pick it up and they're nailed. Nice long boom section as well. So yeah, and that's it.
Well, it is 6:30, and I've got one. Second bite. It's only a tiny one. I haven't got it out of the net yet. And if I'm honest, I feel it to be out of the blue. Not really seen any fish in my area. Middle rod this time. But I haven't seen any fish in my area. It's just pulled up tight, pulled out the clip. Fish on, yeah. It is tiny. I'm going to take some pictures and do a little video, but yeah, it's small. Cool little carp, but yeah, number 2. Really happy. Seeming I've seen so many fish over there. And I'm not playing it down like I haven't seen nothing in here. Definitely seen a few over the course of the whole day, but I've seen more than I've seen in the whole day here in the last hour or so over there. But I've had one. Absolutely bonus. I kind of took my left rod out because it was a little one and it just kited like buggery. So I've rechucked the left rod, rechucked the rod I caught this fish on as well, rebaited, everything's set. I'm fishing again, and the fish is, oh, go on then, that's that same rod. Probably the line just settling, to be fair. Getting a bit excitable. But yeah, fish is just lying in the net. So I'm going to get the mat and everything set up, and yeah, we'll get them out and show you. But mega result. It's only 6:30. I had my bite yesterday at about 7:30, 8 o'clock ish. So It's really why I wanted to be really quick, and I haven't sorted the fish out first. The fish is fine. It's in the net, not a problem. But obviously it's quite an early bite, really. I wanted to get the rod back out, because if there's another opportunity potentially, even though I've not really seen much to be going on and to be thinking that I had an opportunity, but if there is, just wanted to get that rod out as quick as possible. I don't know whether I mentioned in the last video or the video before, but I did change the middle rod. So it was about 10, 12 foot off the far margin, this middle rod. Where I seen a fish yesterday evening, basically. It was lent up against the bivvy and I just put it out. But today, the fish I've seen in the bay have been reasonably tight, but not as tight as yesterday. And the fish I've seen in the last couple of hours were quite tight to the far margin over there in front of Keith and Ethan. So I wasn't going to redo the rod, but I redone the middle rod and I put it about 3 or 4 foot closer. So I went from about 12 foot, went from about 10 to 12 foot to about 6 foot off. And it's done me a bite. Now, whether the change in how close to the margin I was has made a difference, I don't know. But whatever it is, I've caught one. And I'm buzzing. I've got 2 now, so that's banging. It'd be nice for the other lads that haven't caught at the minute to get one. I'm sure Fluffy, aka Ethan, and Keith will have them, because there's load. They're stacked out there. I'm sure they'll have some. And if you'd have asked me an hour ago, I wasn't very confident. After that bite, I don't know, I'm feeling like it might happen again. But I'm always like that. This is a carp angler, isn't it? Oh, I'll just have one bite, and then it's like, right, go on then, and another. So it is what it is. I'm going to get a little one out now. I'm buzzing. I'm going to get it out. And yeah, have a little look. I haven't really seen fully what it is. I just know it's not big. And I know it's quite, to be fair, I don't even need to look. I know it's going to be a decent looking fish. They're all mega here at Hacche. So, yeah, let's get him out. Ooh. He's a mega little one. He is small, but a little angry male, I think. But I am not going to complain. He's small, but he's mega. Pristine, the mouth perfect, like he's like a little new penny, and he fought like a little bugger. But yeah, over to that far margin, adjusted how tight I was to the margin, and yeah, little test of monster crab pop up, scattering in the mini dumbbells and the normal size dumbbells, and yeah, pulled up tight out the clip, and we were away. Number 2. I'll show you the other side. Proper cool carp here. Like, if you haven't fished Hacche Moor yet, honestly, bucket, because if you fish sensibly, you've always got a good chance of a bite, and the fish are just like pristine. Like, the mouth on that is just pucker, you know, and he's small, but look at him, just mega. Mega little carp, little overslung lot. Mega pleased after a nice social, good barbecue. and even stayed down for a little bit, had a bit of a soch. An old friend, Rod, popped down because he was on the syndicate. Yeah, it was a good laugh. Like, nice to have a few beers, some nice food, and yeah, and a carp to top it off. So mega chuffed, mega chuffed.
Oh, he's gone.
Well, quiet night. Slept well though, so that's a good thing. But yeah, heard a few fish washing out there, but definitely weren't as. I don't think they were as active as the previous night. So yeah, I don't really know what happened. Was a bit colder last night, but yeah, hopefully it all kicks off this morning before we go like it did the last social. I've just seen one lump out over there as well. It's just coming up to 7 o'clock. But yeah, really quiet. After I had that fish, didn't really see or anything, hear anything in my water. No tell lie, I heard another one in here, and then nothing. They must have left. There's a lot of splashing and shit around in the margins, but I think that like the rats were just going mental. And I think the moor ends are having a knees up as well, but yeah, quiet all round. I haven't heard. Don't think anyone else has had anything. Ooh, it's fizzing right up there. Bloody hell. Paul Courtney had a duck last night though. I know I shouldn't laugh, but it was hilarious. 1 minute. Am I steaming up? No, it's alright. The mirror always steams up in the lenses. But anyway, yeah, I heard Courtney's on the top lake, but he's literally just behind me. I heard a ripper. I'm like, fucking hell, I can hear all this splashing around and shit, so I went up there, and he's there fucking with a duck. Mallard. Yeah, picked up the pink pop-up, and yeah, was nailed. Yeah, it was going mental, so I helped him out, just quickly grabbed it, he unhooked it, and then we let her go. But yeah, that was the only action other than my little tinker last night. But it is, 7 o'clock, so there's still plenty of time. We haven't got to be off the complex till 12, so, kind of reel in and start getting back to the car, 11, half 11 or whatever, but yeah, fingers crossed it can be similar to the first social, which was like on the Sunday morning. Quite a few fish come out. I think it was maybe 5 or 6 bites in that morning, maybe even more. So we'll just have to see. If not, I'm happy. I've had a couple fish. I'm gutted for the lads that haven't caught. It's bubbling again. Got 6 to 8 foot to the left. Oh, and it's bubbling to the right. I've got a rod out that way. But it's, well, the further bubbles, I'm probably only about 7 foot away. Come on then, one more for the road. But I'm just being greedy. I would like the guys that haven't caught to nick one this morning, if ideally. It's best case scenario for a social, everyone catches, isn't it? But anyway, I haven't even had a tea yet. Because I've been up since, I don't know, about 5:30ish, but I've just been flicking through my phone on the bed chair. I've very literally just got up by the piss and put the kettle on, so I'm going to have my brew. And watch the water and wake up. It is now 9 o'clock, and all the mist has gone. And before the mist, obviously I was seeing the odd bubble here and there out towards my left rod. Since the mist has gone, which has probably been about 20 minutes, I've seen the odd bits of fizzing again. Not massive jacuzzis or anything like that, but just the odd pinprick bubbles, cluster of 3 or 4 bubbles. And I've just thought, that's got to be carp. And they're not on me, but probably the closest cluster of bubbles I've seen has probably been 8 to 10 foot away, something like that. I'm just washing up my stuff from having me food and that. So, and one's just launched out, kind of in between the channel, about a rod length off my left-hand rod. So the fizzing was carp, because when it went back down, there was the odd few bubbles. Now that might not be feeding. Quite often you'll see them show, and you'll see a line of bubbles, and it's usually when it's on its way back down or just swimming. Could be just swimming. So it weren't. I wouldn't have said it was the bubbles were feeding again, but if we see a few more bubbles around, you know, it's looking positive. I've seen a bit of fizz in there, and one showed. So fingers crossed. They're not on the rod, but they're close-ish. Last morning, it's looking really pucker. Like, I've just sent a voice note to Ben saying, mate, I've just got a feeling now that mist has gone. It just looks like something's going to happen. Just looks like, you know, not necessarily for me, but just for someone, it just feels like there's a bite. You know, you've got that anticipation in the air. I don't know, yeah. I said it yesterday, not yesterday, the first day in the evening. I said to you, and he come round, and I said, mate, I've just got a feeling something's going to happen. And then I had one, and then Ethan had one. So yeah, hopefully my feeling's right. Most of the time it's not, to be fair. But yeah, we'll give it a go. I'm all sorted now. Probably just slowly pack down in about an hour. Start slowly packing down some stuff and that. But yeah, hopefully a few of us can get some bites in the last couple of hours. Fingers crossed.
Well, that is the end of the social. No one out had anything else out. And yeah, until next time, basically. Looking forward to getting out the next time, but I'm going to be going to a lake on the Cotswolds. So I'm going to be out of action for at least 4 to 6 weeks until I either catch it or it gets caught by somebody else. But then planning on doing a few more socials for Bosh. Yeah, just got to get back on the drawing board and see kind of what areas we can go to. But yeah, really looking forward to it, and hopefully we can get a few more next time, because yeah, 4 fish, 48 hours, wasn't fishing great, it was obviously tricky, big massive Daphnia's just exploded, and yeah, it's just been a bit meh, but I've had 2, Keith had 1 and Ethan had 1, so yeah, it's all good.